tonight, something happened in the frozen waters of Alaska that no one will ever believe. A luxury cruise ship, a ghost battleship from 1943, and soldiers who died decades ago, walking again. Before I tell you this unbelievable story, make sure you subscribe to Warrior Mand, because what you are about to hear is not just strange, it's terrifying. The ocean around Alaska was calm, silent, and painfully cold. A luxury cruise ship named Aurora Star was slowly cutting through the icy waters, carrying 600 passengers who had come to see glaciers, whales, and the beauty of the northern world. No one on board had the slightest idea that the next few hours would turn their dream vacation into a nightmare that history itself had buried. The night was thick with fog, an unnatural kind of fog, heavy and unmoving like a wall made of frozen smoke. Even the ship's captain, Captain Harris, kept staring at the radar with a strange discomfort. The radar beeped normally, but the sea did not look normal. "This fog this dense shouldn't appear so suddenly," he murmured. Below deck, passengers were enjoying dinner, music, and dancing. Families were laughing, tourists were taking photos of the fog outside, joking that it looked like a horror movie. But the crew knew something was wrong. The sea was too quiet. No wind, no waves, just silence. And then it appeared. At first it was only a shadow, long, dark, and disturbingly still. The fog slowly pulled back, like curtains opening on a dead stage. Out of nowhere, an enormous ship emerged. It had no lights, no movement, no sound. Just a giant, rusted battleship standing like a ghost from another century. Captain Harris froze. "No, that's impossible," he whispered. On the hull, barely visible under layers of rust, were the fainted letters USS Valor, 1943. A U.S. Navy battleship, one that had sunk during World War II. Everyone knew the story. It disappeared during a violent storm and was never found. Not a single sailor survived. Yet here it was, right in front of them. The passengers crowded to the windows, confused and amazed. Is this a museum ship? Did the Navy bring it here? Why does it look like it came from a grave? But the radar showed nothing. No ship, no object. The system said the sea was empty. Captain Harris shouted, "Reverse engines now!" But it was too late. Through the silent fog, the Aurora Star drifted forward and lightly struck the side of the USS Valor. The impact wasn't huge, but it was enough to echo across the ocean like a cold metallic scream. The moment the two ships touched, the lights on the ghost battleship flickered, then turned on. A chill passed through every soul watching. Rows of dusty lamps along the deck lit up. Voices, faint whispers rose from its empty corridors. The fog around the ship swirled like something alive. And then they saw them. Figures, not shadows, not illusions. Soldiers, wearing 1940s U.S. Navy uniforms, pale, wet, and silent, climbing onto the deck one by one, like they were waking from the dead. Passengers screamed and ran back from the windows. Some fainted, some prayed. Others stood frozen, unable to understand what they were seeing. On the ghost ship, a tall man stepped forward. His uniform was torn, covered in old burn marks. His face was pale like ice, but his eyes glowed softly. He lifted his hand, slowly, as if asking for help. Captain Harris whispered, "My God, that's Commander Blake. He died in 1943. But the commander didn't speak. He only stared at the Aurora Star with an expression no one could read. Sadness or warning or something much darker. Suddenly, the ghost ship groaned loudly, as if something deep inside it was breaking apart. The fog thickened, swirling violently around both vessels. Electrical systems on the Aurora star flickered, screens died, and the engines stopped. Everything went black. Screams filled the halls. The crew rushed to calm the passengers, but even they could barely stand. The fog now seemed alive, crawling into the ship, filling rooms like icy breath. Then, a soldier from the ghost crew appeared on the Aurora star's deck. He didn't walk from a boat. He didn't climb a ladder. He simply appeared through the fog. His boots made no footprints. His breaths made no sound. A little boy standing with his mother cried out, "Mom, he's staring at me!" The soldier raised his head slowly, and his hollow eyes met the boy's. Everyone held their breath. But instead of attacking, the soldier pointed toward the ghost ship, like he wanted the passengers to follow him, like he needed them to see something inside. The fog parted, and everyone saw the truth. Inside the USS Valor, beneath the broken decks and dark windows, dozens of dead sailors were still trapped, their bodies frozen in time, their spirits unable to escape. The ghost crew wasn't trying to harm them. They were trying to show the world what happened. They wanted someone, anyone, to finally bring their story home. A deep rumble shook both ships. Water rose. Ice cracked. The Valor began to sink again. The soldiers looked at the Aurora star one last time, saluted, and disappeared into the fog as their ship slowly slipped beneath the waves. When the fog finally cleared, the battleship was gone. Not sinking, just gone, as if it had never existed. The Aurora star regained power. The engine started. Lights came back. But the passengers did not forget what they saw. And to this day, in the icy waters of Alaska, some people still hear voices of old sailors calling from the fog, asking to be remembered.